What's going on, guys? So I'm up here in Fort Collins at Beautifully Savage Boxing, doing some boxing lessons with my friend Joe right over there. And it got me thinking. So I'm very squat, bench, and deadlift focused right now. But growing up, I was an athlete. And honestly, I love combat sports. I've never been into them. I want to get more into them. So I wanted to know, what are some conditioning movements that boxers and fighters do that lifters like myself can do to improve both their lifting performance and just their overall athleticism. So Joe's gonna take us through 3 movements that boxers and fighters do on a regular basis that can apply to your life and benefit your lifting.
First conditioning exercise everyone that's interested in boxing can do and every person can do anytime, any place is jump rope. Okay, it's one of the best conditioning exercises you can do. It's accessible to pretty much all people. Great for your legs, great for your core. And honestly, fighters need to be in great shape to fight. 36 minutes, jump rope is the first conditioning exercise. Two ways that jumping rope can benefit your lifting is, number one, it can just be great prep for your leg day, for calf day, any of those types of things. Number two, it can be a fantastic finisher as some conditioning at the end of your work.
Yeah, and to that point, I get so sick and tired of doing rowing, doing stuff on the treadmill, so jump rope is a nice variation that you can get into, and fighters do it, so that's pretty badass.
Second is med ball tosses. One of the reasons why this is very, very important for fighters and why it can help you too is to get that explosiveness through your hips and through your trunk. So whether it's a rotating med ball toss, an overhead med ball toss, or even a med ball slam, this is an essential tool to every fighter's toolbox. So a lot of people assume I'm punching, right? But in reality, this is in slow motion what a cross looks like. This is what people think it looks like, right? This is what it actually looks like. Okay? So that's why this becomes important. So for you, we're just gonna have you here, and you obviously know how to do this, so. Okay? That'll also come in handy when you throw hooks, right? A lot of people think, but in reality it's pulling my hip and shoulder through, being extremely violent, and punching all the way through my target. So Freddie Roach says when a good hook misses, your elbow should land.
So speaking of med ball tosses, especially from a rotational standpoint, a lot of our lifting is done in the sagittal plane. So squatting, deadlifting, we're constantly moving forward to back. So by implementing more rotational work, we can be a little bit more athletic in our movements, and we can train some muscles that we're probably not hitting on nearly as much, plus focus on some of our rotational power, which can have carryover for a lot of different lifts.
Last but not least, kettlebell swing. Any variation of kettlebell swing is great because as a fighter and as a human, you want to have good explosion through your hips, and kettlebell swings is a great hinge movement that will help you work on that.
Yeah, and to Joe's point, I think most of us could do a better job at generating power at the hips. So by training swings, especially with some form of strategy, or even as a conditioning tool, we can focus on hip extension and generating power through that strong hinge position, which can have carryover to other lifts. But dude, Joe, thanks so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I am a total noob at boxing, and Joe was very gentle and too nice to me. But
No, you did great.
if you want to follow Joe, I'm gonna link all his stuff down below. Joe Buckner, Beautifully Savage Boxing in Fort Collins.